You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History. Minor Family Dentistry would like to bring you the following dental health tip. It's recommended to have a dental checkup no later than your child's first birthday. An adult should brush for a young child and monitor older children's brushing to ensure a good job is done. Flossing should start when teeth are touching. Minor Family Dentistry wishes you good dental health. Families, including children of all ages, are welcome. Minor Family Dentistry, 1010 Downing and Hayes. Find them in the Next Tech directory.
So, you think you have skeletons in your closet? Come to Sternberg Museum, where we let our skeletons out of the closet.
Hello, and welcome to You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. My name is Dana Stanton, and I'm the coordinator of the West Central Kansas Smart Start program. And with me today is Theresa Clark. Welcome, Theresa.
Thank you.
Now, first of all, tell us a little bit about your job and what organization you work with.
I'm Theresa Clark. I'm a registered play therapist and a licensed professional counselor at Light of Hope Counseling Center.
Mm-hmm. Now, today we're going to talk about a subject that is really important this time of year. It's getting to be the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I've heard sometimes in the news that that's a time of the year when depression is up. And our show talks about children, so we thought maybe it'd be a good idea to talk about the grieving process with children, and especially what they might go through at the holidays. So that's something we're going to talk about today. Grief in general. Is there a normal response? I mean, what should happen during the grieving process?
There's many things that happen during the grieving process as far as that goes. And, each person experiences a loss, which is a natural response. Mm-hmm. And everybody grieves differently. They're on a personal journey. No two people will grieve alike. Mm-hmm. So we're all going to have some different things going on within our life.
Mm-hmm. Physical side effects, mental, what kind of things would you expect?
Okay, there's physical effects. Some of those include headaches, the stomach aches. Mm-hmm. Some kids will become real hyperactive, want to go, 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 adults too. Mm-hmm. And then there's some that will not even want to get out of bed. So mm-hmm. they just, underactive, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But again, you do have the headaches. You'll hear kids say, I have a stomach ache, or just don't feel good, kind of that flu type thing. But it's just part of that grieving.
That process.
Mm-hmm.
Now we talk about behavioral side effects, emotional side effects. Do you see kids acting out or doing anything different?
With your emotional, that's when you're going to see a lot of the sadness and the loneliness. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you'll see the anger, and some people are feeling guilty. Why didn't I kiss mom goodnight last night, or things like that. Mm-hmm. And then you'll see some of your social, where they're going to be overly sensitive. Sometimes they're at school, and kids will start talking about their mom or their dad, and all of a sudden it's kind of a trigger for the kids because, I don't have mom now to share those stories with, or I don't have dad.
Well, I know as a youngster, I lost my dad at a very young age, and I remember Father's Day used to just kill me, and people would be talking about that, and I'd be like, so, very well-meaning things, but it could be a trigger for a young child, something like that. Are there other things that might trigger a young child, or something you would see in young children that you wouldn't see in adults?
With the young children, a lot of times you'll see bedtime rituals, where if mom put me to bed, or mom gave me that bath, that reading that book, even though dad might have done it, a few times, but mom was that one that was doing it most of the time. Morning times can be kind of hectic too. If mom got one up, dad got one up, then all of a sudden, now dad's doing it all. So those are little triggers for kids, and, a little difficult. And it takes time, understand a lot of people say that kids that 2 years to 5 years, they don't remember, they'll just get through it or over it. You never get over a death, you get through the death. And it takes time, and to recognize that kids grieve too. Not always. They go in and out of their grief, and when they're in, allowing them to talk and feel what they're feeling is very important.
So it's okay for a child to talk about a loved one that's passed away or cry about a loved one that's passed away.
Very much so. We always encourage you talk, you laugh, you share stories. You may be driving down the street and all of a sudden the child starts talking about mom or dad, grandma, whoever had died. And you're thinking, my gosh, where did this come from? But it's important that you allow that because that's the moment that they're in their grieving process. So to share that with them and allow them to talk. If they're crying, it's kind of touching base. I see you're really sad. I'm wondering, what's on your mind.
Now, you've got lots of wonderful things in front of us. I know we've talked before about that. One of the great ways for children is to try to express some of what they're feeling through art projects and things like that. So we're just going to talk about some of these things. Now, I wanted to talk about this one because I thought this was really neat. Tell us what this is.
This is just a piece of paper, a cardboard, and basically what we've done is we've made a puzzle out of it. And what I always kind of look at as a family as being a puzzle. They're perfectly put together, and when a death has happened, then all of a sudden the puzzle is now scattered and in many different pieces. And so part of our grieving process and getting through this loss is that now we have to find a way to put the puzzle back together, and one piece will always be missing in memory of that loved one that had died. And they can write on each part of the puzzle. They can write a memory, they can draw a picture, they can do whatever they want because this is their puzzle.
Now, what is this underneath? It looks like a pillowcase. Is this what this is?
This is just a pillowcase. Very, very easy thing to do. The pillowcase is really something special. I like to do this with kids because when you go to bed at night, often the kid wants to lay there and they just think and think and think.
Happens to adults too.
Yes, it does, very much so. And so to kind of help that process out, we make a pillowcase in memory of the person who died. They can put anything they want, any memory, anything they want. They can put their name. Again, it's their pillowcase. It's all about them and the memories that they have of the person. That way, when they go to sleep at night, they go to sleep with the good memories of the person. If they have some anger issues, they can put things on the back of the pillowcase that might make them mad. And that way, they can, hit the back of the pillow if need to. It's a soft object. However, in 8 years, I've only had one child do that. They usually just want to keep it for the good memories, and this becomes a very sacred piece to them.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Now, I loved this. You told me about this before we started, especially with the holidays. Tell me about these.
Okay, as the holidays come up, we always try to find a special activity that, you can have. Holidays are very difficult because, as you notice, they're really focused on family. You notice at Halloween, starting pretty much in that October, it's that setting that mood for those holidays. With Halloween coming, getting those outfits and everything, and then you go into the Thanksgiving where family dinners and Christmas. At Christmas time, I say if you can find a stocking, any kind of stocking, you can put the name of the loved one on here. And then each day, or however you want to do it, you can put just little notes in there. Notes of, I really miss you. I'm thinking of you, Grandma. Gosh, I remember that wonderful cooking and that smelling. I wish you were here. How I miss you so much. And it can be anything. You can write a story to them and just stick it in there. And then at some time, during that holiday season, whether it be Christmas Eve, however you choose to do so as a family, you take them out and you just share them because we're all missing that loved one.
And that would be a way to keep them a part of your holiday ritual then.
Very much so. So many times what people forget is the person's not, they're gone physically, but spiritually, they're still in our heart and will always remain there. And we want everybody to remember that. So by, saying their names and sharing memories, if you're at the table, go around, light a candle in their memory and share your favorite memory. That's something you can do as well.
And it's really important for our children. So thank you for giving us some ways. If someone has some more questions or they have a child who's really hurting, what is your phone number so they could give you a call?
They can call Theresa at Light of Hope Counseling Center, 301-2122.
Thank you so much. You've been watching You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. Parents, remember you are your child's first and best teacher. Thank you.
Thanks for watching You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You can watch the program weekdays in the noon and 9 o'clock hours. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History.